Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair, took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoes, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas, keep. You with me, sheesh. But need OG, keep.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience under pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. About my chicken and its rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing yet. We swinging for the fences. misses with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat. I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie. You don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the P's, you gon' see the...
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. And Mafia, oh baby, we got the move down to the value area low that we were looking at yesterday. Actually, guys, hang on one second. I just realized that my screen is in the wrong aspect ratio. I'm going to have to change that. But guys, as I do this, as you guys know, yesterday we were looking, as I do this, as I'm changing settings, you guys know we were looking for a move down potentially to the value area low of our local range. I was in the short position looking for that dump down. We did get that move to the downside, and right on time, we got that value area to move from, we got price to move from the value area high. We saw those bearish confirmations. We got the drop down to the value area low, and we are starting to get a little bit of a bounce there, kind of, not really. We got a little bounce. I want to show you guys the key levels. I won't get too into it right now, but shout out to the Candle Mafia. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to go ahead and go over the key levels that I am looking at as Bitcoin has rejected the previous all-time high once again. You guys know that previous all-time high at about $109,880 was that big key level that we had to get above in order to call for new all-time highs, and we just keep getting hammered down by it. Are we going lower? Are we finally going to hit the $105,000 key level of support that we looked at over the past couple of days? Or are we going to get a bounce from where we are right now? I'm going to cover all the price action for you guys tonight. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button. You guys crack me up in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and move this mug so I can see the chat a little bit more. But yeah, shout out to everybody in here. Smash that like button if you haven't not already, guys. If we get, We'll go for 750 likes. If we get 750 likes on tonight's live stream, we'll give away some of these Frankie Candles hats. We got them in all different colors. I don't know what color you're going to get if you win a free one, but we got black, we got the navy, and the, Carhartt brown. But yeah, if we get 750 likes, we'll give away a couple of these hats. Maybe we'll give away 2 or 3 of them. But yeah, let's run it up to 750. I think we could do it. But shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to Jesse, our like police, guys. If he asks you to touch that like button, whether you're fondling it, creepily touching it, hitting it with your head, touching it with your butt. We don't judge, guys. Just smash that like button. Shout out to Jesse. We got Nirvana in the chat. Jay Violet, good to see you. French Toaster in the chat. We got regular guy Trades dropping the smash the like emoji. Let's go, baby. Mark Dutch in the chat. He said, Frenchie, hide the chairs. Actually, guys, I did have the old chair in here a couple of days ago, and I actually moved it out, right? Because we want Bitcoin to pump, so we got to get the. Actually, no, maybe we have to bring the new chair back, old chair back in here, because that's what made Bitcoin pump. It was the new chair that made it dump, guys. We got to get rid of the secret labs. Ever since we got this thing, ever since we got this thing, we started to dump. Let's see this. Shout out to Hugo's. Welcome in. Said spent the Vegas trip money on some bling. Hey, shout out to Hugo's. Let's go, baby. We got Mountain Magnets in the chat. Sorry, guys, my voice is a little bit weird today. Let's see. We got Nirvana in the chat. I want 1K likes. Shout out to Jesse, guys. He wants a 1,000. I said 750, but hey, you got to please the like police. So let's go for 1K. Shout out to Jesse. And maybe we'll add some crypto to the giveaway, too, if we hit 1,000. But let's see. Need a hat to solidify trading. Yeah, shout out to a regular guy's trades. This is not financial advice, guys, but I will say the Frankie Candles hat is 100% going to increase your win rate. Not financial advice. I'm just kidding. But anyway, guys, we got a lot to look at here on the charts. Let's see. Did we miss anybody in here? We got Curtis Reese in the chat. Said, Frankie away, blowing up Mrs. Candles. All right. Anyway, with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and change the subject here and now and jump on into the charts and cover those key levels. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys. I literally just ran into the studio. I am very flustered right now. And we have no TA on the charts, guys. We're lost. I'm just kidding. But let's go ahead and go over this price action, guys, because obviously, if you take a look here, oh, I have it all hidden. As you guys know, I'm going to go ahead and hide that setup here. Bada boom, bada bing. As you guys know, come on, give me that brush. Come on. There we go. Okay, so as you guys know, yesterday we were looking at price getting a move into this value area high. We were looking for that rejection to get back into the range, come down to the POC, lose the POC, and then area low, guys. And where are we sitting right now? We are sitting right at that value area low. I am actually in a scalp long position as well as the short position with profits locked in. So let's go ahead and show that really quickly here. Bada boom, bada bing, lot size calculator disappear. But yeah, as you guys can see, we did take that short position up about almost $2,000 right here. Did lock in some profits. Probably going to lock a little bit more in here in just a minute. And like I said, I don't think I'm logged in here on the computer, but I am in a scalp long as well. Unless it did get stopped out. I don't believe I got stopped out. But yeah. As you guys know, we did take that position over on FEMAX, and pretty nice, right? We just saw the bearish confirmations here at the value area high. As you guys know, when we get above those whoops, I'm going to keep that daily naked point of control on the chart. As you guys know, when we come into those value area highs, we do look for those bearish confirmations, and yesterday we did have the 1 hour. Let me pull up that 1 hour time frame real quick. We did have the higher highs on our price action. We had the lower highs on our momentum waves with, and shout out, I forgot who said it. Somebody said, hey, Frankie, we made it down to the value area low. Great TA yesterday, guys. And it's not me. It is the volume profiles, guys. I like to think that we're the best analysts on the YouTubes. But as you guys know, we teach this for free every single weekday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's just the volume profiles, guys. We deviated above that high. We had the 1 hour bearish divergence. We also had some other confirmations that we were looking at. And we got it back inside that value area. We came on down to the POC, and then we lost that POC in anticipation of coming down to that value area low, where we actually did have some confluence down here with a daily naked point of control sitting at about $107,200, $107,178. We had the value area low, the daily naked point of control. We bounced off of it once. We came down to take the low one more time. And then if we could get back inside this range, guys, we could potentially see a rotation back up. I'm going to talk about some of the key levels that we have above here, but just in general here, we did get that full nice move to the downside via the volume profiles, making for that nice little short position. Again, I am probably going to close a bit of this in a minute. I might do it live. But, here we are, right? Like I said yesterday, the volume profiles, I'm going to have to move this depending on what time frame you're on here. The POC did move down a bit. But, I I always say the volume profiles are going to steal my job, guys, and I'm not lying. I'm not lying, right? It's like we give the TA, we see it play out, and now I think a lot of you guys know what happens at these value area lows. Like I said, I did take a scalp here. Now, I will say I am still, we're going to cover the higher time frames, but I will just kind of cover the local TA here. Value area low sitting here in confluence with the daily naked point of control. I'm actually going to pull this to the current price action, and we'll just adjust that a little bit. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. So yeah, we did come down. We are starting to put in some 15-minute bullish divergences here. We did get the lower low on our price action. This is the 24-minute. Pull up the 15-minute. Lower lows on our price action. Higher lows on our momentum waves. And yeah, we are, at the end of the day, guys, if we can potentially reclaim this value area low, and again, I'll just sitting at $107,175. Again, confluent with that daily naked point of control. If we could get and stay above this level, we might be able to get a little bit of a retracement to the upside. And we're going to take a look at the higher time frames in just a minute. But, just locally here, key level of support, value area low, daily naked point of control, $107,159. And then if we can get back up in here, POC is sitting at about 108,944, and then, obviously, if we get back above there, we could look for a move back up to the value area high. Now, I'm going to talk about if I am actually expecting that to happen or not, but that is just the local volume profile that I'm watching, and hey, we got that nice short position from the high to the POC back down to the low. Maybe we can get the next rotation back up to the high. Now, again, I'm not necessarily in love with the confirmations that we have down here. These are very, very local. I was even telling the premium Discord, not the highest probability situation here, in my opinion, just because, at the time where I was looking to take that position, we didn't really have any 15-minute bull divs, and even this 15-minute bull div, to be quite honest with you guys, again, we'll take a look at the higher time frames. We really, really need to reclaim this value area low to get the move up, and again, we'll take a look at the higher time frames and kind of see how likely it is that we're going to get that bigger move up, but these are the local levels that I'm going to be looking at. And again, if we wind up losing the value area low, I think a lot of you guys are going to know kind of what my plan is, what levels I'm waiting for, because we covered them yesterday and the day before and the day before. But just in general, these are the local levels that I am going to be watching. Now, before we jump into those lower levels of support that I'm looking at, I do just kind of want to cover the situation that we have up here, because as you guys know, over the longer term here, as we came up and put in the new all-time high at about $112,000, we had to break above the previous all-time high. We put in the new all-time high, and then as we were coming down on our first dump to the downside here after making that new all-time high, we did have the previous all-time high at $109,880, and that was kind of a first level of support that we were hoping to hold, right? If we lost that, we were going to be looking down towards that bigger level of support sitting in the $105,000 zone. I will cover that level in detail, but, you guys know that is the level that we've been looking at, and we got the drop down below that all-time high. We got the move back up to the all-time high, right? And again, previous all-time high, and once we saw those bearish confirmations, guys, this was not just a local value area, right? Or a local value area high. It was also the previous all-time high. I'm going to try not to say that word again because it's annoying me. And what happened, right? We came back up. We came up. We got the rejection. We came down. We came back up. We got our second rejection. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, the biggest level of resistance on the chart is $109,880. If we were able to reclaim this on the move back up, we would be looking for a new high to be made between $112,000 and $114,000. Unfortunately, we did get the rejection. Now, the one thing about this all-time high is that we had the pull of the Fibonacci from the high to the low. This is a golden pocket 786 retracement zone, which is a potential area or the area that you would be looking at to put in a lower high before putting in a lower low, right? You have the high, low, lower low, which could potentially push us into that $105,000 zone. And as you guys know, yesterday, this is really the level I would like to see tapped. I prefer, honestly, to come into that $105,000 zone where we do have a lot of confluence, or I don't want to say a lot of confluence, but we do have the golden, we do have the golden pocket 786. We also have an anchored VWAP there. I believe I have this somewhere on the chart, this anchored VWAP. Guys, I am having like a muscle twitch right now. This is ridiculous. But yeah, we do have this zone right here. As you guys know, we covered this many times yesterday. 786 golden pocket. We also do have a daily level sitting in there as well. I don't really want to cover this too much just because we've covered this so many times yesterday. But yeah, this is the next zone, right? This is kind of what I'm hoping for. If we could come down here and get that higher low before putting in looking for that higher low, bullish confirmations, I would love to get a long position down here, to be quite honest with you guys. Now, again, I am in that scalp long here in case we do take off. But again, I don't know. The fact that we cannot reclaim this previous all-time high has me I don't want to say worried, because like long-term, this doesn't make me bearish or anything. But I would say, right, like until we break this level, we could potentially see more downside. And very simply put, that next zone is sitting right here between 105,888 and $104,108. I would really like to come down there. This is where I will be looking for more bounces and potential long positions to then put in a new all-time high. And yesterday we were talking about how when you want something in the market, and this is 100% what I wanted, when you want something to happen, a lot of times the market will just spit in your face and not give it to you. And honestly, we got pretty close, right? I wasn't even really super psyched on this full fill of that local volume profile. Obviously, the laws of the volume profile, bearish confirmations above, back to the POC, lose the POC, back to the low, is a very high probability situation in general. But I'll be honest, I wasn't, I was happy, I'll say, to see that we were coming down to this value area low, because like I said, typically when you want something, it does not come in. And the fact that I want this $105,000 zone kind of makes me think that we might not get it, right? And that's why I was willing to take a long position here in case we do not come down to that level. I do want to be covered on the long side because, again, I am holding that short position. Profits locked in, so I'm covered on the short side, and I don't want to get another leg to the upside and completely miss the move. So I wanted to kind of just take a shot there, especially within the context, not just a random long position, obviously in context of that volume profile, right? So I would say this, honestly, once we get above this 786, this previous 786 that we just that we're sitting below right now, we can get above that, then we could potentially get a push into that point of control. But just overall, I'll be honest, like today, it does look a little bit better if that we could potentially come down to this level because we keep banging our head on that all-time high. This is 100% two levels, right? Number one, all-time high at $109,880. Level number two is the real line in the sand. Now, the fact that we've gotten this rejection here from the fib zone already, I am not necessarily looking, the 786 is still untapped, right? So, if we come back up to the all-time high, I've been talking to the premium Discord about this. You flip that all-time high to support, it increases the chances of putting in a new high, right? But the real level, the technical line in the sand, is going to be that 786 at $110,885 because we could potentially, right? We rejected the golden pocket. We came back up. We kind of rejected in the middle of the fib, right? If we do come back up, that technically that 786 is still valid, right? So really, in my opinion, first order of business, get above the all-time high, and then really the line in the sand is that 786. Again, $110,885. Once we can get above that, we can look for new all-time highs. In my opinion. Looking for that move into $112,000 and $114,000. But this is the huge, you could just look at it as a zone sitting between $110,885 and $109,794. Pretty much the all-time high to that 786. And until we get into that level, until we get above that 786, we could potentially be open to that $105,000 zone. So me personally, the way I'm handling this, guys, holding my short position from this lower high here. And again, the reason I was looking to take that high, other than the fact that we did get the technical setup with the confirmations, but another reason for that was that we did have a short setup in the premium Discord from the tippy top. And if you guys watched the live stream on that day, I did take the short position, and then I moved my stop loss way too early, and I got stopped out at break even. This candle literally came up and just took me out at break even. I was technically in profit. So I was just not holding a short position, and the fact that we could not get above this value, this previous all-time high, I do want to be covered for the short, right? Because if we lose that all-time high and we wind up getting a bigger correction to the downside, I want to be covered on that end of the on that end of the trade, right? I want to be holding that short position because I got stopped out at break even here. So I was definitely looking to take that position. And where are we going to look to take that position? Between the golden pocket and the 786, because that's where the lower high would likely come in. High, low, lower high, potential lower low. So simply put, I'm going to hold the short. I'm going to see if I get stopped out of this long position. Again, I would not be surprised if I do. But again, I'll just stop out of that for a small loss, and the short will continue to play out. And then at the end of the day, I will simply be waiting for our next key level of support. Again, I'm not really going to talk about that too much. Value area high, daily 786. And then, that's going to be that next big level. For the next short positions, in my opinion, right, biggest level of resistance at this point, right, like, really would just be to come to new all-time highs. I'm not really interested in too many short positions, any bigger short positions until we come into, like, new all-time highs, right? And even then, I am going to be treating them as scalps because shorting all-time highs can be a very, very dangerous game. So locally, we'll just look to scalp within this range. And then if we break down, I'm simply looking down here. And if we get a bigger break above, we have the $112,000 and $114,000 Fibonacci extension levels sitting just above us. Now, I don't want to really repeat myself too much. Excuse me. I don't know if I'm getting sick or what's going on here. But I don't really want to get too deep into this just because, guys, I covered this so many times, and like essentially we've been going sideways, and I know a lot of people probably be like, how is this sideways? We went up so much, we went down so much, right? Like we have just been between about $106 and $110,000 for, the past 7 days, right? So we are pretty much just kind of going sideways here. And there's not really too much to update other than just re-mentioning our key level of support here. And the importance, right? I do want to also like kind of hone in on the importance of losing this all-time high, right? Like we tried to trade above it. We got back down below it, and we cannot get back above, right? That could give us the bigger cool-off. Is this making me super bearish? As you guys know, the line in the sand for me is to really lose these range lows. I am not really looking for a much bigger move down until we come down and crack these range lows, getting closer to $101,000 to $102,000. Once we lose that, obviously we could look down towards that point of control of the range, sitting between 96 and 97K, and, that is, again, just something we've been looking at. So I don't want to waste too much time on that, but I do want to cover Market Cipher B here, guys, because this is kind of what's going to give us the idea of kind of what is going to play out here next. And if we take a look here, we'll take a look at the 4-hour time frame. We do have the green dot potentially looking to print here on the 4-hour, and this is just going to be local, right? So I'm going to turn off the higher time frame levels, take off that Fibonacci retracement, hide the daily, and we'll just look within the local levels, right? So if we are able to reclaim this value area low, I will be looking at that green dot on the 4-hour to potentially give us a retracement back to the upside. Now, I am going to be very careful with this long position if it does wind up playing out, because to be honest, guys, if we look at that 4-hour money flow, we got that thing tanking to the downside here, potentially anticipating or indicating a continuation of that downtrend to lower prices, whether it's to the $105,000 zone, which technically does run down to about $103K, where we do have this naked daily point of control sitting at $103,084. So again, we don't necessarily know if we're going to hold the value area high, the 786, or if we're going to come down, slip this level, and tap that daily naked point of control. But at the end of the day, this is the biggest level of support, in my opinion. Once we start breaking down below that, that's where we can start to look for the bigger move down, where I would generally be targeting. I'm not going to lie, guys. We do have a daily MPOC at 99,554, but I'll be honest, once we lose this daily naked point of control and we start breaking below these lows, I'm pretty much anticipating 96 to 97K. That's not my base case, right? We don't know, right? So we have to approach this as price action develops. So if we do come down here, we get the bullish confirmations, we'll look to take the long position. If we do not get the confirmations, we'll wait for the lower prices. But I will just say the line in the sand for me is to break these lows. Once we get down there, sure, daily naked point of control is here, but we don't really have a ton of confluence there. We don't have a weekly level. We don't have a monthly level. We don't have anything in confluence with this, to be quite honest. So once we wind up breaking down below that, we could potentially look for that POC at $97,000, because once you get below the value area high and you get accepted below it and you cannot break back above, that is where you're looking for the move down to the POC. Lose the POC. Obviously, we are going to have key levels that we're looking at. Coming down to this point of control is not going to make me like macro bearish forever. But once we lose that POC, obviously you could target the value area low in the context of our simple volume profile. This is why I love the volume profile so much. We simply just look for those to rotate in full, very similarly to what we saw happen here locally. Oh, man, this thing does not want to go up. This thing does not want to go up. We have the 7-minute money flow coming into the green. Come on, 2-hour green dot. Give it to us, baby. Give it to us. But we'll see if we can hold above. I'm going to put an alert here just under that value area low to see if we're going to break down in case we're looking at something else as we push down. But yeah, hopefully we can hold that value area low and continue back into this range. But if not, guys, the next key level is sitting between $105,000 and $103,000 down towards the Fibonacci retracement / daily naked point of control. But yeah, other than that, my plan remains the same, guys. In that case, we will be short. I should be short from the top. Got to stop that at break even. But at the end of the day, I'll miss out on that little extra gain. And I'm short here from about I'll say $109,000. What's my entry on this? 109,414, right? So we'll just hold that, almost short from the exact all-time high here. We'll just hold that for a bigger move to the downside. But, I'm hoping that we can hold this as support because, again, guys, generally the market is, for the most part, pretty bullish, right? We do have the bullish market structure as we cover every single day. Again, there's plenty of room to come down here. Maybe I'll just pull up a blank chart here just to kind of, take a step back from the volume profile kind of perspective and just view this through like a more of a, just like a general Fibonacci perspective here. So again, if we pull the fib here from the low to the high, again, this is about 105 to 104K. And then if we pull it down to the range low, you also have a 786 sitting here at $103,000, which is confluent with our little scalp range that we have down here, which is also very confluent with the daily naked point of control at about 103,000. Yeah, actually, let me pull it up over here. The daily naked point of control, if we pull this fib all the way to this range low, that daily naked point of control is confluent with our 786, right? So 786. Daily naked point of control, $103,000. So I would say, yeah, if you don't hold this 786 at about 104,178, I would be looking down to about 103,000. Yeah, this is actually nice. The fact that we have the confluence here. So just to be clear, if we come down here, we do not hold the first support zone, we start losing 104,178. You have the daily naked point of control at $103,084. And again, that would be very confluent with our full fib pull from the bottom of this range. That would be nice, right? You lose the golden pocket. Next place for price to likely go, 786. So this would be an area I'd be interested in getting a bounce from. But again, you're going to be pushing right into resistance, directly into resistance. So you just have to remember that. It's not that you can't break out, as I've said many times. It's not that you can't break out. It's just that you have to understand the context, right? You dump down. If you long here, you have to understand that this is massive resistance. And if you cannot get above this, you could be ready to go down to 96 to 97K. So you do have to be ready to take profits on the way up before moving your stop loss to break even in potential anticipation of this getting rejection back into the range down towards the POC. So yeah, I'm going to cover the price action as it develops. But yeah, other than that, guys, my plan, to be quite honest with you, remains exactly the same as yesterday. Let's see. Here we go. Shout out to Gear. Welcome in, bro. Hopefully I said that correctly. Actually, I am way back in chat. Good Lord. Let's see. Chemistry Bro said, dang, Tony, can you trade that for me too? Shout out to Chemistry Bro. What is Tony trading? Shout out to Tony D. What is he doing? Bitcoin is sitting at $107,394. I can guarantee you it hits $107,395. Might bet the farm on it. Shout out to Tony D. How funny would it be? How absolutely hilarious would it be if it just nuked from here? Oh, God. Oh, God. Maybe it's going to happen. Shout out to Tony D. No, Tony, don't bet the farm. Let's see. Shout out to Curtis Reset. Get your socks out, Frankie. You want me to pull out the dogs? Are we going to pull out the dogs today? Oh, God. Oh, God. Let's see. Tony throwing setups like a madman. Shout out to Tony D. How likely do you think it is that we hit 100K soon? Listen, in the case of my short position, I'll say hopefully very high. Listen, I would say this, right? You lose this 786. Yeah, I would say lose this daily naked point of control. You know, we do still have the psychological level of $100,000. Here's a situation I can see, right? Here's a situation I can see. Well, I'll just mark out 100K even real quick, right? Boom. I'll just mark this out 100,000. Bada boom, right? So you have $100,000 even. Actually, let me do it over here so I can get all the price action in here on the chart. Bada boom. And then I'll just do this. 100,000. And then you have the daily naked point of control sitting at, this. Yeah. I mean, the next biggest levels of support, right? Obviously, the one that I just talked about, sitting between $105,000 and $104,000. Lose that, $103,884 with the confluence on that 786, right? Nice, beautiful confluence there, right? And then this is even like $104,621. That is even, yeah, I mean, it's kind of all confluent with that zone, right? So, if we lose 104K, we're looking down towards 103.87. You lose that, at the end of the day, right? Like, there's really nothing underneath you until $100,000 with the daily naked point of control there as well, right? So you could kind of look at this as a potential support zone. Yeah, do I want to come down there? Not really, but it is possible, right? Because we do understand that we do have liquidity sitting below these lows. All of these lows have liquidity sitting there, and we look at this on the heat map. I don't have the heat map pulled up. Like I said, I literally just ran into the studio, but if we do get the move down and we go sweep out the range lows here, let me hide these lines, right? Bada boom. Right, we come on down here to sweep these range lows. You sweep them down, you sweep the liquidity into the $100,000 level, into the daily naked point of control. That's where you could potentially look for a bounce. But again, I just don't. Listen, the less we have to enter this macro volume profile, the less we have to come in here, the better, right? Like that's why the most ideal situation is that we just kind of bounce off the high. Because if we get stuck in here, guys, like just from a binary perspective, I have to potentially look at this as bearish, right? Like honestly, the rejection of the all-time high is kind of bearish, to be like fully transparent, right? Like the fact that we traded up here, got the drop down below, and cannot reclaim the previous all-time high is like low-key bearish. But there is no way to say that like we are guaranteed to dump back down to $100,000. It's always going to be a level-to-level situation, right? There's no way to know for 100%. But I would say 4-hour money flow crossing over into the red. If we get that 4-hour money flow crossover, maybe we get a little retracement. Like I said, this little scalp long position, if it does wind up playing out, right? I am going to be very careful here because with the money flow coming into the red, what am I looking at, right? Like, let me see in chat. Do you guys know, as we get this green dot on the 4-hour, what will we be looking for? Are we looking for a massive rip to the upside? Or will we have to anticipate it to be a lackluster retracement for a lower high and a lower low? Let me know in the chat, right? Let me see what you guys say. Need a bounce to take some gains before another drop. Yeah, shout out to Curtis Reese. Could be the case. Could be the case. Sell everything. BTC is going to zero. Frankie, shout out to BJK. Sell it all, guys. It's going to zero. Non-binary perspective. Yo, shout out to Nirvana. I walked right into that. But yeah, as we know, right, green dots indicate the ebbs and flows in the market. So, when you have your money flow coming out here, that green dot is likely, right, more often than not, it's not 100%, right? We have money flow coming out here. And what happened? We came up and came into a bigger green wave, right? So anything is possible. In trading, there's never going to be something that's like, there's a 100% chance or, it's honestly hard to put like a, depending on how many confirmations you have money flow coming into the red on the 4-hour, you have bearish divergences, depending on how many confirmations you have, you could put a higher probability on something happening. But, just looking at this 1 4-hour time frame, that green dot is more likely to put in a lackluster retracement for a lower high and a lower low. That's just looking at the 4-hour, right? Now, when we come on over to the daily, you can see the daily VWAP has gotten rejected at the 0 line. So we'll have to see what happens here on the daily close here in about an hour and 43 minutes. If we can get that to scoot back to the upside and give us a green dot, maybe things would look different. But we're getting rejected here, right? We're getting rejected from the all-time high on price, our previous all-time high on price. We're getting rejected at the 0 line on the daily green dot, which is something we were looking at yesterday. Honestly, that daily VWAP was part of the reason why I was honestly a little bit more worried about this short position, right? Because I was like, hey, we print that green dot on the daily, might just slam through us, right? Might just slam through my short position and send us back up. But now we have 3-hour money flow in the red, 4-hour money flow coming out, and like even look at the last stream, right, yesterday. What were we looking at here, guys? Let me just find where it was. What was yesterday? The 27th right here, right? I took that short position. We came down, and as we were looking at the 15-minute, I tried to walk you guys through this price action live, right? And we had money flow crossing over into the red, but then we also had a green dot on the 15-minute. Now, what were we looking for here? I said, hey, guys, look, 15-minute money flow is coming out, but we have a green dot printing. What does that mean? That means that we may get a lackluster retracement, but based off money flow, we'd look for it to roll back over and get another move to the downside. And that is, or even if you're just looking at it like this, right? You come up, lackluster, money flows in the red, you're looking for the continuation down. It's exactly what we saw. And the reason I bring that up is because that's exactly what we could potentially see here on the 4-hour time frame, right? Maybe that 4-hour green dot prints. I mean, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, right? But if it does print, you wouldn't really necessarily, this is not typically what I like to see before massive new all-time highs. It doesn't mean that the bear market is here and we're never going to see all-time highs. It just means that that green dot's probably not going to be the signal, right? It means that if that green dot prints, I'd be looking for a lackluster retracement, lower high, lower low, just like we were looking at on the 15-minute, right? This price action is fractal, right? Price action is going to behave exactly the same on the 1-minute as it does on the 4-minute, right? But just on a lower time frame, right? A 1-minute time frame is going to play out a lot faster than a 4-hour time frame. But the way they play out, right, and the way it behaves is exactly the same on every single time frame. And we talk about that in the anchored VWAP tutorial that we're going to drop tomorrow. I finished cutting it. I think we're going to drop it tomorrow during the day, so keep an eye out on that. And yeah, it's the same thing with anything, right? Like price action is simply fractal. And, I would argue, right, that if I were to hide all this TA and, you couldn't see time frames and you weren't familiar with what price action looks like, right? Because if I show you the weekly on Bitcoin, right, like you're going to know this is the weekly because I think we all know what Bitcoin looks like over the long term. But at the end of the day, if I zoom into a random candles here on the 4-hour, right? And then I zoom into random candles on the 1 minute or 10 minute, like it's impossible to tell the difference. It all behaves the same, right? So when you're looking at the 4-hour green dot, right, we would have to look at that as, hey, could be a lackluster retracement for a rejection and a lower low. And maybe that pushes us into that $105,000 level, right? And if we do pull our fib, I would probably be pulling this, right? If we pull up the 1-hour time frame, hide market cipher B really quick. Good Lord, guys. My arm is spazzing. My arm is absolutely spazzing. It's so distracting. Is there a sequence to the time frames we need to consider? Shout out to Curtis. So yeah, I don't want to make it seem like all time frames are the same. I just and I don't know if that's what you're saying, Curtis. But when I say time action, price action is fractal. It just means like the same behavior that we expect on market cipher B. Like I said, that 15-minute time frame. Green dots printing, money flows coming into the red. What do I expect? Well, meaning no matter what time frame you're looking at, the 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 2-day, the 3-day, a green dot and a red dot is always only going to indicate the ebb and flow in the market. And money flow is always going to indicate the trend. So when you bring that down to a 1-minute time frame, right, and we're looking at market cipher B, it is going to be green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot. Money flow in the green, trend to the upside. Red dot, man, the green dot came really late there. Red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot. Money flow indicates the trend. It's the same thing on the daily time frame. You have a, let's do it over here. Green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot. Money flow indicates the trend. So it all behaves the same, but obviously a daily time frame is going to take a lot longer to play out, right? So I don't know exactly what you mean, like the sequence, but if Curtis, if you clear that up, I could try to answer the question for you. But yeah, obviously I just want to be very clear. Not all time frames are exactly the same. They just behave the same, if that makes sense. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Zevi, said, bro, my pops asked me how my Bitcoin is doing yesterday. Major sell sign for me. Yeah, shout out to Zevi. I haven't gotten any text messages yet about what meme coin should I buy, which is pretty crazy, guys. I'm not going to lie. Like, I truly believe that retail has not entered back in yet. I think we have old retail back, meaning people who were in last cycle, right, are coming back after Bitcoin started to hit near new all-time highs. We started to see some old faces here in the chat. People start to ask questions, but I honestly don't think that we've seen like crazy FOMO, like true retail re-enter the market. And this is very clear when you look at the search term analytics for Bitcoin or altcoins or anything like that. It's very clear. But let's see. Curtis says, I just meant, are any time frames more important than others, or are all time frames prioritized, or are any time frames prioritized over others? Curtis, so generally a higher time frame, it depends, right? Like if you're trading on one time frame, it really doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, right, you just have to understand, like a green dot on the daily or a money flow crossover on the daily will signal a massive move to the upside, right? Not massive, but like a 27% move to the upside. In this case, back here, that money flow crossover into the green indicated about a 74% move to the upside. And then if you go to a 5-minute and you look at the money flow crossover, sure, this looks like a big move to the upside, but if you measure that, right, it's only a 1% move, right? So any signal on a higher time frame is going to indicate a bigger and stronger signal, but it still behaves the same, right? It's just that on a daily, a move like this is tens of percents or hundreds of percents, and on a 1 minute, it might be 0.5% to 2%, right? So hopefully that makes sense. They're just a little bit stronger on the higher time frames. So yeah, bull div on the 15-minute. Yes, there is a bull div on the 15-minute. Shout out to Gibby. Said sometimes I have to check if the speed is on 2x because Frankie can spit TA faster than an Eminem can rap. Love you, Frankie. Shout out to Gibby. Yeah, put me down in scrub back. Put me in 1.5x speed. Gibby, I know you can handle it, but if you're new here and I'm talking too fast, just slow it down to 1.5x, and you'll probably get bored and then come back to regular speed. But let's see. Shout out to Gibby. Shout out to Nico. Says, Frankie looks exactly like Nick Jackson from AEW. Who's Nick Jackson? Am I going to have to Google this? I'm going to Google this after the show. I'm either going to be happy or disappointed. Let's see. Take magnesium. Shout out to Tales of Mystery. Said take magnesium. It helps with twitching. Thank you, bro. I'm going to have to do that. I actually think I have some magnesium. Mrs. Candles! I heard a squeak. I think that was her. Let's see. Does 3-day green dot mean big push-up regardless of money flow, Frankie? Shout out to Brian Varney. Not in my opinion. 3-day green dot would indicate a well, yeah, if we had a 3-day green dot, it could indicate a push to the upside. But again, money flow is always going to be king here, right? It doesn't mean that you can't get a push-up, right? But like, hello, Mrs. Candles. Come on in here. We got to sniff your she's rapping. She's what is that, Russ? She's rapping Russ. Shout out to Russ. Hang on. We need extra. Oh, it's been too long. Wow. Oh, wait. Do we have magnesium? We gave our magnesium to Tony? Wait, I gave it to him or you gave it away? Oh, yeah. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Mrs. Candles tries to make me healthy. She gave me magnesium, and I didn't want it, so she gave it to Tony. Give me back my magnesium, Tony. I'm just kidding. But anyway. But yeah, a green dot, obviously, a green dot with money flow coming up is going to be much stronger. You can see right here, green dot on the 3-day, money flow coming to the upside, right? And that was the last green dot you had before a money flow crossover. Thank you so much, Mrs. Candles. This is not magnesium. This is aluminum. Don't pity laugh at me. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. I think Mrs. Candles is transforming personalities. She's out there singing. Mrs. Candle. I think Mrs. Candle's been feeling herself lately, guys. Nick Jackson is pretty close when he wore the beard like Frankie. Shout out to Brandon. You look exactly the same. Shout out to Salvador. No way. Hang on. Okay, wait a second. So I kind of don't look anything like him, I thought. But if you cut his hair off, it's not that far off. That's low-key weird. All right, I'll take that. I'm not upset about that. But anyway, back to the show here, guys. Green dot on the 3-day, right? You can see money flows coming into the green, and that was the last green dot you had before a massive move to the upside, right? Even if you just measure it to here, 57% pump to the upside, right? And that's with money flow coming up. Now, if you look at the green dot when money flow is in the red, green dot prints on the 3-day. Sure, you got a little squeak to the upside, but that money flow did indicate that the trend was going to continue to the downside. Gives you a 20% dump, right? So that's the difference. A green dot with money flow coming up or a green dot while money flow is in the green and coming to the upside is much better than a green dot when money flow was in the red, or this was kind of hard, right? Because money flow was kind of coming up here. But if you have enough experience looking at Market Cypher B, you would understand that, you spent so much time in the green here that it was probably time to spend some time in the red, and this was likely a fake out into the green. But that's a pretty good example. If you just kind of look at this as no fake out into the green, this was just in the red. Green dot doesn't really give you anything because, remember, the money flow indicates the overall trend, right? So you would expect, even if it was a bounce to the upside, that the trend would continue down, if that makes sense. But yeah. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I would say you snooze, you lose, but you didn't snooze. In fact, you never do. That's why she got you magnesium in the first place. Anyway, I'm almost out and need to buy more. Shout out to Tony D. Yes, Mrs. Candles tried to get me magnesium to help me sleep. And it just doesn't work. I think it's a fraudulent vitamin because so is melatonin, by the way. I am either melatonin is totally fake news or I am melatonin proof. I do not go to sleep, guys. It's brutal. And magnesium doesn't help. Melatonin doesn't help. I've taken 4 times the amount of melatonin you're supposed to, and I'm still up at night going, bullish divergence on the 15-minute, but the 30-minute money flow was coming down. I don't know. This mixed signals, 3-day red dot, but we got the daily bullish divergence. What is going to happen? That is my brain every single night, guys. But anyway, I'm just kidding. I just count Phoebes as they jump over me, and I go to sleep. But anyway, let's see. Shout out to Roboball. Shout out to you, bro. He says, Frankie, can we please pump? And I'll tell you what, Flat Smack just entered the chat, and that means, you know what that means? That means the Bears are going to take a hike. So shout out to Flat Smack. Hopefully Flat Smack pumps it. Losing my mind that I think it's fraudulent. Yeah, I think magnesium is fraudulent. I'm going to investigate it, guys. When I one day when I retire, I am going to spend all my time trying to disprove magnesium as a legitimate supplement. And melatonin knocks me out every time. That's what people say. Breathing exercises, low key. That's the only thing that's ever worked for me. But anyway, maybe some 420, maybe. Let's see. Watch your breath. Inhale, count 1. Yeah, shout out to Dennis. Breathing exercises, surprisingly, is one of the only things, not that I practice it every night, but that is one thing that if I can do it, it actually does help me go to sleep. I'm going to try it tonight. I'm going to report back to the Mafia tomorrow. I take 10 milligrams, and I'm 225. Shout out to Satoshi Stacker. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think I just have like melatonin, magnesium repellent in my blood. I don't know what it is. Exercise could help. Yeah, I've tried that too. That sometimes makes it worse for me because then I always maybe I have to work out in the morning. I usually work out at night when I work out. Anyway, let's continue on here, guys. So I think, again, guys, I'll be honest, there's not too much to update here. If you watch yesterday's live stream, my plan remains the same. We got the beautiful move down. We're sitting in the short position, cashing out, not too shabby. And other than that, we're kind of just waiting on that $105,000 key level or waiting for the bounce back up to break the all-time high, right? 786 and the all-time high. Before we move on to the altcoins, I will say 786, 110,885, all-time high 109,880. Until we get up there, and not only get above the value area high, all-time high, but also above the 786, because if we don't, right, if we do not get above that 786, let's assume, right, that 4-hour money flow is correct, right? What do we have right now? We have confluence here on the value area high, 786, and the previous all-time high. And then you also have confluence here on your POC and your golden pocket. So let's assume that 4-hour money flow is indeed going to continue to the downside, and we're going to get a lackluster retracement for a lower high and a lower low. Could potentially happen at the golden pocket POC, and if we get above that, could happen at the value area high, right? So, I'm just going to trade this. We took the scalp short from the high to the low, just showed that trade, and we are going to take the, and now I'm in the long. That long will be in anticipation of a potential lower high and lower low, but if we continue up, I'll hold a portion of that trade, and if we get another short confirmation up here, we'll look for another short, right? Maybe we bing-bong around here for a couple more days. So I'm just going to trade this locally, right, while we're sitting in the sideways price action so we don't have to sit here bored waiting for the higher levels, higher time frame levels, right? We can actually get some action and make some money here so we can get paid this week. Come on. But, yeah, let's see. Shout out to Silver Rapture. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much. I don't know what I said, guys. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. I'm low-key kind of a mess, guys. I had a meeting earlier today, and I literally, I feel like a mess. But shout out to Silver Rapture. I appreciate you so much for the super chat. Said, check out ZBCN, will ya? Even though it's migrated. Yeah, we'll try to take a look at that. No problemo. ZBCN. We'll take a look at that. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Titan. Said, try... F.Lux software for making the screen less tiring for your eyes. I actually have blue light glasses. I don't know if that will stack on top of the blue light glasses. I'm just going to fall asleep at the computer. But yeah, I do get a lot of blue light as well. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. CandleMafia Mom. We got Rob the Crypto Snom in the chat as well. What is going on, brother? And Darren Does Things. Don't forget about Darren Does Things. And Tyler Durden. Is Tyler Durden here today? Tyler, if you're here, show yourself. But yeah, let's go ahead and pump it to new all-time high. Shout out to Robo Balls. Shout out to Tony D. Said, not at all related to trading, but friendly reminder for everyone in the U.S. to get their real ID. To get their real ID situated if you do not have a passport ASAP. Shout out to Tony D, keeping the Mafia up to date on current news. That's going to be the new thing, Tony. You should just drop one random news event or just kind of like tip of the day or something. In the chat that is completely unrelated to crypto. But yeah, let's see. No cell phone in bed makes a big difference. Shout out to Kelefant. If I didn't love you so much, Kelefant, I would ban you for offending me. I'm just kidding. I would never ban you, but that does offend me because there's one thing that I do a lot while laying in bed. It is sit on my phone. Shout out to Kelefant. Crypto Anon in the chat said I'm here too. Shout out to Anon. Let's go, baby. What's going on, bro? Hope you're doing well. And hopefully you have your daily dose of melatonin and magnesium, and you have your real ID. But let's continue on and take a look at some of these altcoins, guys. But yeah, if you just tuned in, scrub back to the beginning of the stream. You get all the sauce on Bitcoin. But other than that, guys, my plan remains exactly the same. We saw exactly, I kind of hate this. I love this, but I hate it, right? I love that we looked for this move down to the value area low, but it's kind of annoying because now we're here and it's just like, well, if you guys saw yesterday, this is what we were looking for, and now we're here, which is great. We made some money on that trade, but my plan remains the same, right? Because nothing different has happened. It's kind of a good thing. It's definitely a good thing, but it's not great for big updates on Bitcoin. But what we can do is take a look at some of the altcoins, and maybe we'll even do a short stream today, guys. We'll just keep it nice and short. And we do have to drop the we're going to drop the anchored VWAP video tomorrow. I just have to put a couple finishing touches on it. You need to teach your brain that the bed is for sleep, not for entertainment. Ditch the phone. Anon, can you ban him? Whoever said that guy with the blue name. Tony D, ban that guy. I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's continue on here, guys. We'll take a look at Ethereum. And, man, tons of updates on Ethereum here, guys. Not going to lie. We'll take a look at market site for BS. The only thing that's going to be a little bit different here, but what was yesterday? The 27th at... Yeah, you literally cannot make this up, guys. I might have to change the time of the live stream. Where's 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? 5:45. Yeah, I mean, we're like literally, we were here yesterday, and we're just like literally still sitting here. Oh, good Lord. But we'll take a look at Ethereum real quick. We're going to hide this daily. And, yeah, I mean, listen. Can anybody guess what we're going to say? We're sitting above the anchored VWAP. We're sitting above the point of control. As long as we remain above these levels, we can potentially anticipate our continuation into our daily level, which is the next key level of resistance at about 28.19. And that's about it, right? Flip the daily at 28.19 and look for the move up into the golden pocket, daily naked point of control, sitting between 29.79 and 31.50. That's about it. I'm not going to lie. Daily, green dot was confirmed. We don't have a daily bearish divergence, at least just yet. I would have been a little bit more concerned if that daily green dot pushed us into the daily and we were getting a divergence here. I would be more concerned about a bigger drop to the downside. But we don't really have the divergence. You could check the lower time frames as well. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Key target to the upside, 28.19. Break that. 3,000 to 31.50 is the next target to the upside for me personally. Take a look at the higher time frames. 2-day money flow looking dang saucy, if I could do say so myself, guys. Look at that money flow. Look at the rounded bottom on that bad boy. Hang on one second. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, you're not going to let me rotate it? There we go. Look at the rounded butt on this one. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I don't think I slept enough last night, guys. Anyway, key level of support still remains the anchored VWAP at 24.40. Lose that POC at 23.19 is the next key level of support. We lose that. We have the this daily is tapped. We have the value area low. Again, guys, at some point, we may be in store for a bigger cool-off. In my opinion, this 2-day money flow looks good. We still need the green dot, right? We'll have to see what the daily does here. You know, you do still have the, I don't know, 4-hour green dot looking to print. This is kind of looking bear divvy. Yo, the Mrs. Candle's hand. If I could get Mrs. Candle's hand on here, can you do that? I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. That would be hilarious, though. But anyway, 4-hour green dot. Yeah, I'll be honest here. I wouldn't really be shocked if we get the move to the upside first. Green dot printing on the 2-hour, kind of wonky. 2-hour money flow in the green here. 45. 16-hour red dot printing. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'd be watching the local levels on Ethereum. If we get the move up first, daily, golden pocket, and the MPOC right here, 29, almost $3,000. Big key level to watch. Other than that, I'd be watching the local levels, which would be the inside, or not the inside, but would be within this volume profile. which, to be honest, deviate below the low, back to the high, deviate the high, back to the low, back to the POC, or I'm sorry, back to the POC, back to the high, back to the low, deviation, back to the POC, back to the high, back to the low, back to the high. We're trying to hold support up here. I don't know. This is mixed. I'm kind of 50-50 on this, to be honest. If it breaks up first, I'd look for the daily. I mean, this does look like bullish consolidation to me personally, right? A lot of times you will see this break out. We could maybe look at it on, maybe we kind of pen it out here and snap up to the daily and then push up to the higher levels. But, yeah, I mean, key levels remain exactly the same. There's nothing really super, super clear here on Market Cipher B, if I'm being quite honest. But at some point, guys, we could get a bigger retracement on everything, right? And if we do, if Bitcoin goes back to $96,000, $97,000, that could be Ethereum back at the value area low. That could be Ethereum back at the macro golden pocket. It could be Ethereum back at the 786, right? So, yeah, I mean, but locally, these levels all remain the same. POC and the daily above are the two biggest key levels of resistance and support to look at. 23.20 on the POC, 28.19 on the daily. Hang on 1 second here, guys. Oh, Tony D sent me a PNG of Mrs. Candle's hand. No way, dude. Low-key, Tony, I'm not really a big fan of you sending me a picture of my girlfriend's hand. This is weird. Where did you get this picture of her hand? And don't say she sent it to you. Shout out to Tony D. Let me see. What do I do here? Do I save the image? Or I could just, wait, hang on. I could just drag it on there? Okay. Hang on. Hang on. If we can get Mrs. Candle's hand, I'm going to pull this up because I'm about to pull up my downloads, and I don't want to leak my social security number or anything like that. If you're new here, I apologize for the derailed stream, guys. I am just it's one of those days. No way Tony D just did that. Shout out to Tony D. We now have Mrs. Candles on the chart. He just messaged me, drag from Windows. Shout out to Tony D. All right, there we go. Mrs. Candle's hand on the chart here. Where's that 2-day money flow? Come on, baby. Oh, she's gonna backhand it. Oh, come on. Psh, psh. Oh yeah. Psh, psh, psh. That's a nice rounded bottom right there. We get that crossover into the green, guys. Don't forget. You have your last money flow. No way, bro. Oh, it's more of a rubbing hand than it is a slapping hand, I think. But that 2-day money flow crossover is oftentimes a good sign that you're going to get a push to the upside, right? These 2-day money flow crossovers are nothing to scoff at. Last 2-day money flow crossover, we cover this every day. Flip that value area low. Money flow crosses into the green. Continuation up to the high. Look at these rounded bottoms up here, or rounded tops up here. No, where'd it go? Oh, she was hiding. It's like playing hide and seek with Mrs. Candle's hand. But you can just see, guys, like these 2-day money flow crossovers are just, I mean, mark them out. 1, 2, 3. One played out like this. One played out like this. This one, is it just going to give us a dump to the downside? I hope not. And it's not crossed over into the green yet. But if we see that crossover, guys, looking pretty nice. But it could take time, right? Could even call for a bigger retracement first before that crosses over. But I'll say, if we were going to get a bigger retracement, that 2-day red dot was a better chance than any to get a big cool-off, getting that red dot. So, yeah. Name of the indicator, shout out to Mystic. You can check it out. It's Market Cipher. That is Market Cipher. You could use our code to save 20%. And no, I am not just a paid shill for Market Cipher. I've been using Market Cipher forever. Before I had a YouTube channel, before I knew Crypto Face. I wouldn't have really been as, the TA probably wouldn't be as saucy when I did start my YouTube channel if I wasn't such a experienced Market Cipher trader. So I want to be very clear. We don't just, and if you don't want to use our discount code, go to their website. I don't get a kickback if you don't use our link. If you do, it helps support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. But, even if you do not use our code, I would still shill Market Cipher. Because it just plain old works. And if you watch the channel, you'll know exactly how well it works. But anyway, all right. Well, we're going to have to take Mrs. Candle's hand everywhere with us now. But anyway, it was insane, man. All right, let's see. Shout out to Gen Z said, I'm new. Shout out to Gen Z. That's a new profile picture for sure. Let's see. Shout out to CJ said Mrs. Candle's hand slapping a Brazilian butt lift. Let's go. Brazilian money flow lift right there. Anyway, this is definitely more of like a rubbing hand. Like, it's okay. It's okay. I can't with the rubbing hand. Anyway, all right, continuing on. That's Ethereum, guys. Let's go ahead and yeah, if you guys want to see some of your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Rob the Crypto Snob will count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. Rob, let's do like 2 requests, and then I will jump into some other stuff. Shout out to Seth Shepard said, I'm thinking about getting Market Cypher. I need a boost. Shout out to Seth Shepard. I highly recommend it, brother. I highly recommend it. And if you can't afford to get Market Cypher right now, you can just tune into this free live stream, and we look at Market Cypher on just about every coin imaginable every single live stream. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Stop. Thank you, brother. First, we get a drop for the bull div. Then we go for the 2-day money flow. Would be nice. Yeah, shout out to Malte? I don't know if I said that correctly, but I would say, yeah, I like the way you're thinking, bro. This is oftentimes how I think, right? Look for a bull div. I don't know if you're talking about a bull div on the 2-day. That would be quite the drop. I would not want to see the 2-day bull div only because it would break this low, which I would not want to see. It would have to break that low to put in the bull div if that's what you're looking for the 2-day. If we do that, right, we're probably headed down to about $1,300, which would make sense because as we looked at yesterday, if we take a look at our – let me hide some of this stuff. If we take a look at our bear market range, you guys can see we do have an untapped value area low here. We had a nice impulse out of this range, which I really liked. You know, I'll say this. If we do come down to 1,300, that 2-day bull div would be something I would look for. But I would say if you get the 2-day, if you got a 2-day bull div here, this money flow would very likely tank to the downside. So if you want to keep that 2-day money flow intact, we would not really want to see that, to be honest. But I like the way you're thinking, bro, because that's typically what I look for, right? Try to front run the bull divs. It's oftentimes what we like to do. Our 3-day bull div, this would look a little better, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be out of the cards here at all, but I'm ready to get things started, man. Maybe it's wishful thinking. I just don't want to come all the way back down there. Definitely possible, though. To be honest, I mean, we have even lower levels on Ethereum towards $1,000, which hopefully we don't have to entertain, but they are sitting down there. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. We could take a look at ADA. Shout out to Rob. I'll just take a look at ADA. I see everyone shouting out ADA. We could go ahead and take a look at that right now, and then we could do a separate 2 requests. So yeah, so for Cardano here, we got our key support down below. We've already come down and tapped the golden pocket, right? This was our first area where you would hope for a higher low before putting in a higher high. We did not put in a higher high. As a matter of fact, we actually did end up putting in a lower high into the golden pocket, 786 retracement. So the next key level that I would be looking at is really sitting at the anchored VWAP 786 retracement. I would say I don't really want to lose that 786. This is sitting between about 70 and 68 cents. If you break down into that anchored VWAP, you lose it, tap that 786, reclaim, get back above the POC. That's what I would want to see to pretty much just maintain the higher lows. I would. That is not out of the cards, right? The hard part about that is that if you bounce off the 786, you're coming directly into the POC, which is key resistance. But the fact that we are not coming down from a rejection from the value area high, typically the way the value areas work is you hold the value area low, go to the POC, flip the POC, go to the value area high. When you approach from the high and you get stuck under the value area high, go to the POC. In that case, losing the POC is much more bearish. I'm okay here with the POC acting as a magnet for price. Sometimes you slip above it, you get back, slip below it, get back above. You kind of play around with it a little bit. And the fact that we have the anchored VWAP in the 786 down here doesn't make me that scared to come down here. You just want to get a reclaim before going back up to the high. So right now, sitting between about 70 and 68 cents is going to be the key support level for Cardano. We've already tapped that golden pocket. That's why I don't put as much weight on it. If you lose that 786, though, I would probably be looking for a bigger drop down towards the value area low. Do we have any daily MPOCs down here? Potentially. Let's take a look. Whoops. Yeah, your next daily MPOC is makes it, actually, I might already have this on the chart, to be quite honest with you. We don't. So I will grab this. Whoops. Oh, it's locked. Grab this. Yeah, so you do have a daily MPOC. You have an MPOC on the golden pocket. So I'm actually going to bring this box back up because we tap that we tap the golden pocket. However, that daily MPOC is sitting right there. So yeah, I mean, this is still the zone, right? Like you come somewhere in this zone, you're just hoping that you could bounce back above that POC to get the bigger push to the upside. I'm going to get rid of these because they're tapped. So yeah, I mean, this support zone remains exactly the same. Lose the 786, I'd be looking to come down to the value area low because at that point you're losing the anchored VWAP, which could indicate that the trend is no longer going to go to the upside locally, and you could come down for a bigger retest here on the MPOC value area low confluence, which is not confluent really with the golden pocket or the 786. It's somewhat confluent with the 786. I was looking for a little bit closer confluence there, but if you come back down to the value area low, you do have confluence down there. It's not super nice, to be quite honest, right? Pull to the... Yeah, I wish it was a little better, but you do have the daily MPOC and the value area low are definitely confluent. Pin my next comment. Shout out to Rob, the Crypto Snob. Let's get it, baby. Thank you for that, brother. Let me go ahead and... Oh, it's already pinned. Shout out to whoever pinned that. I guess it was Tony. I'm coming for you, Penny. They're fighting for those. Guys, I still don't really even know what those tier lists are. Are they just like number one ranked? Who's number one right now? Are they not in chat? Who is it? Is it Jesse? Oh, Pennywise is number one. Let's go. Shout out to Pennywise, everybody's favorite clown and everybody's favorite chatter, I guess. Let's see. Ada is my lifeline. I like to be saved by Pamela Anderson. Shout out to Nirvana. Shout out to Pam Am. Let's get it. All right, let's continue on here. Let's take a look at, yeah, so those are the key levels. I would just watch, this is coming in value area low daily MPOC sitting between about 60 cents and 61 cents. And then again, that key level that you do not want to lose is the 786 at 68 cents. Shout out to Curtis says, is it me or has Pringles gotten a lot smaller these days? They're cheaping out on everything nowadays. They're not even putting magnesium in the magnesium. They're not even, the melatonin is not even melatonin anymore. Anyway, guys. Anyway. Is this steaming a lot? Can you guys see that? Is that like steaming awkwardly a lot? I don't think you guys can see that. Anyway. You're the man, Rob. Shout out to Silver Rapture. I agree with you, bro. Shout out to, I don't know how to say that first name. I apologize. But Singh says, you are very cool, bro. How much time do you read the chart for finding a level? Oh, my God. It just burned my insides. I'll be honest with you, brother. I don't recommend this, but I look at the charts 24/7, to be honest with you. But to mark up a chart, generally, right, not to get it to this level, right, but just to mark off some support and resistance, probably like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But I've been doing this for a very long time. But to really, like, tweak it and get it the way I want, probably like 10 minutes. I don't know. Maybe if let's see. Let's go to ZBCN. What is it? Let's take a look at ZBCN, and then we'll take a look at Link, and then we'll take a look at Caspa. There's ZBCN just going absolutely ballistic. Let's take a look at the Bybit chart. Do we have anything else with more price history? No, that looks like it's about it. So we'll look at the Bybit chart. And I'll just mark off some key levels, right? I'll give you an idea how long I look at the chart. And I also just need to do it so we can get the levels. No dailies. No daily levels. Or no weekly levels, I mean. You have a monthly level down here. So I'm going to go ahead and label that monthly. And if you guys want to know how to mark off your chart, use these templates, be able to right-click on a level and have all these templates and stuff, check out the beginner series. I show you exactly how to mark up the charts just like this for 100% free. Let's see. No daily there is kind of tapped. You got a daily right here. That daily's tapped. This daily is developing. I'm going to mark this out on the daily because I would assume that this thing is not going to dump down this much in the next hour. Hopefully it doesn't. If it does, that daily will be invalidated. Then you got another daily right here. So put those in a folder. Hide the dailies. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Boom. Hide the dailies. Put this in a folder. Name it monthly. Bada boom. Let's see if we can get any daily MPOCs. We got one right here. 2, 3. All right, I'm going to mark those out because they're relevant. There you go. Daily MPOCs. Let's pull up the weekly MPOCs real quick. You got one here. You got one hither. That's about it. These are all tapped. Boom. Weekly MPOC. And you got oh, hang on a second. I messed that up, actually. No, I didn't. Okay, that's perfect. All right, now we can hide the MPOCs and the horizontal levels. I'll pull my... You have a value area right here. Not that this is a fully completed chart, but this is, the start of it here. You have your volume profile. Lower rang, lower range. Okay, now I'm gonna okay. All right, so there you go. How long was that? This is like the start of it. I wouldn't say it's completely marked up, but that's just kind of the beginning of it. But there you go. Now we have a nice little, we know where our lower value is, which is all the way down here, which hopefully we don't have to come back down. And now we could just kind of get a little bit of context, right? We get below the value area low, back into the POC, up to the value area high. We get the breakout. We get the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful retest of the value area high before the massive move to the upside. We don't have any resistance to look at above. So all we can really look at is what is below us and what we have currently up here. So I would say, looking at this on the daily, taking a look at Market Cipher. Man, I don't know. It's kind of hard after these huge moves up. You do have a 12-hour green dot looking to print, 10-hour green dot also looking to print, or is printing. Money flow flying to the upside. This is interesting. Let's pull from the low. So we have golden pocket from the start of the impulse here. You have daily naked point of control. Golden pocket confluence here. That's nice. And your anchored VWAP would probably come up there as well. This would be a big key level I would watch. 0.0032 to 0.0029. That would be a key level, in my opinion, right? Especially with that anchored VWAP there. And then underneath that, you also have 786, daily MPOC confluence. And... see this real quick. Yeah, I won't mark that out, but yeah, I would say your next key level, if you get a bigger correction to the downside, again, you have the green dot on the 10-hour. You have the 12-hour green dot looking to print. Money flow is all, 12-hour green dot with the 45-minute money flow crossover into the green could give you a pop to the upside. 1 hour. And the 16-hour green dot. Yeah, I would look for the 16-hour green dot and this 1 hour money flow to cross over into the green for another potential move to the upside. If you cool off, I would definitely watch this zone right here. Golden pocket, daily naked point of control. Nice confluence there, especially if this anchored VWAP is coming up. That'd be nice. And if you pull your local range here, this actually might be a job for a... Yeah, I'd probably pull it like this. So you do have a local range right here. Boom. Boom. So yeah, if you cool down locally, I would just look within this local volume profile. Value area high sitting at 0.0048. POC sitting at 0.004. Value area low sitting at 0.0038. I would treat this as a typical volume profile. Deviate above the high, get back in, go to the POC, lose the POC, go to the low. Get back above the POC, go to the high, back to the POC, back to the high. If we get stuck back in here, look to go to the POC and the value area low. Again, this thing's kind of exploding, could continue up, but if you get a bigger pullback, I would definitely pay attention to the bigger zone of support down here at that daily naked point of control. So yeah. You're getting a little bit of a bullish retest here. If you could hold above that value area high, you might be able to break out again. But I would say this, get accepted back below this value area high, I would look to come back down. For the move up, watch the 16-hour green dot with the 1-hour money flow crossover into the green. Thanks a lot, bro. Thank you so much. God bless you. Shout out to Sing. No problemo, bro. No problemo. All right, let's see. Shout out to Mark Dutch said, I think we're going down for the rest of the week. Not financial advice. Or maybe it is. No problem. No problemo. Shout out to Silver Rapture. No problem, brother. Yeah, there you go. These are the key levels. You could go ahead and screenshot them if you will, or just rewatch it back and put it back. But I literally show you how to do it yourself if you want to pop it up on your own chart. Shout out to Chewy. Says, can you show how to pull the fib up and down to get lower measurements? Shout out to Chewy. I actually have a video on the channel to show you exactly how to pull fibs, exactly where to pull them from, and not only that, but how to trade them and what to look for as you push into them to make some money trading Bitcoin, whether the price goes up or down. Shout out to Nirvana. Said crypto is 95% boring. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Other than like the outliers here, like ZBCN, I'm not gonna lie, guys. And I know I might be a little bit jaded just because I've been in this for so long. But yeah, like for the most part, it's this is sideways. I know there's always like one person. It's never someone in the mafia. It's always like a new person. They're like, this is not going sideways. And I don't know what that is then. All right, definitely going sideways here. Over the long term, we're getting some exciting moves, right? It's funny because it's so exciting and then it gets so boring so fast. But to be honest, guys, it's when it's boring that you want to pay the most attention, because when it was boring down here, it was right before the big move. When it was boring here, it was right before the big move. When it's boring here, big move, big move. What is going to happen? But yeah, if you're wondering what's going to happen, scrub back to the beginning of the stream. Let's see. XRP, we can take a look at XRP, and then we'll jump into Link and Caspa. We haven't taken a look at Caspa in quite some time. All right. Looking for BTC to pull back to 96 or 97K level for a new high to be made. Shout out to Sing. Hey. Where's that Mrs. Candle saying when you need it? Definitely a key level. Definitely a key level. And like we looked at, pulling your fib, 786 confluence on the POC, pulled from the bottom of this range. And if you pull it to the bottom of the impulse, golden pocket sits just below that POC as well. I do like the 786 confluence a little bit better here, though. Not going to lie. Yeah, definitely a big level. Biggest levels on the chart, if I wasn't going to talk about like the fine-tuned technical targets, 105,000, 97,000, 91,000, 90,500. All right, again, much more detail in there, but these are like the general biggest zones of support. If you don't bounce here, you're probably coming down here, right? Once you lose these lows. You don't hold this at POC, you're probably coming down here. But all places we can get big bounces from. What would be super boring is if we just rotate this volume profile. That would be quite boring. But there'd be nice trades to be had. Let's see. If you're pulling my fib, you're going to have to pay. Shout out to Silk. Let's go, baby. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Biz Knowledge. Said anybody calling for lower is 1,000% sidelined. Shout out to Biz Knowledge. Yeah, that's kind of what we talk about, right? Like, I do think the most painful situation here, the max pain situation, is higher prices, for sure. I think going up from here is going to be much more painful for much more people than a pullback. I think a lot of people want to pull back because, again, we talk about this almost every day. The sentiment down here was crazy bearish, unless you're on this channel, right? Bear market, bear market, bear market. We did not think that. There was no reason to think that. And I would try to be as clear as possible about that when we're down there. But it's very hard for people to fight that fear. But by understanding how bearish people were down here, makes me think that everyone up here is praying for a pullback, right? Because they weren't buying when they were supposed to be, right? Not that I was buying down here. I bought my Bitcoin at 21K. But, if I didn't hold Bitcoin, I was looking to buy in, right? I would have been, this is where you want to look to pick up if you don't own Bitcoin, right? Not up here, right? So all those people who are hoping for a pullback, I think it's going to be a much more painful situation for more people is if we continue up. That is 100% the more max pain situation. I agree. Shout out to Biz Knowledge. You guys are crazy. I'm not going to read that. But anyway, let's continue on here. Oh, Bitcoin getting back into its value. Oh, are we going to pop in here? Let me check my long. Let's see if my long gets stopped out on that little dip ski. Let's see here. No, we're still in the long. All right, not bad. Still in the long there, baby. I don't know if you guys could see this. Hopefully you could see that. Still in the long. Sweet. All right, let's continue on here. Just stopped in to smash the like. Shout out to Crypto Maxi. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We're going to hit the boom button on you. Let's get it. But yeah, all right, let's see. Let's continue on. Let's take a look at Link, I guess. Link and Casper are next on the list. Let's check it out. Come back over to the alt chart. Bada boom. And we'll take a look at, that's Polkadot. Where's Link? There she is. Ugh. I don't mean ugh, but ugh. Still sitting in the same spot. Nice little uptrend here. I would say key level down below, POC 786, sitting at a 1428 or 1432 down to about 1420. Reclaim or test that POC. Hold on top of it. Could still continue our move to the upside, targeting weekly at 1869 with the value area high just above at 2068. Money flow on the 2-day is not as pretty as it is on Ethereum, to be quite honest. Daily money flow back in the red. That's kind of gross. Very choppy up here, if I'm being 4-day red dot printing, 5-day red dot printing. If we're getting bigger retracements, I don't hate this 5-day money flow. Yeah, I don't hate this 5-day money flow. 5-day money flow coming back up into the green pretty aggressively. Red dot looking to print, though. So if we're going to get bigger retracements, these higher time frame red dots are probably the things to do it. Come down to the POC, potentially get the bounce, right? If we're going to get bigger retracements, potentially down to the golden pocket at about $13 or the value area low 786 at about 1181. The higher time frame red dots are what is very likely to do it. If we come down on those red dots on the higher time frames and we hold above that POC, very bullish in my opinion. Looking for the value area high. If the red dots bring us down more, we have these bigger key levels at around $13 and then all the way down to about between 1179 and about 1163. Got to watch those high time frame red dots. But remember, we looked at this on was it what else we were looking at? Was it Ethereum, Bitcoin? I forget. Oh, yeah. 2-day red dot here on Bitcoin, right? It's like ended in a green candle, and then it confirmed, and we came down a little bit, right? So, yeah, I would say if you're looking for the bigger pullback, it's probably going to be these high time frame red dots. High time frame red dots are the time to do it, in my opinion. But, yeah, let's go back to Link. So, yeah, 786. Once you lose 14.19, I would be looking down towards the golden pocket at 13.10. Lose the golden pocket, 786, value area low. And again, this wouldn't be the most bearish thing ever, in my opinion, right? Even if you lose the POC, come back down, retest the value area low, as long as you can get bullish confirmation down here and bounce, could still be a higher low before another higher high. And that's what you just look at based off market structure and money flow, especially looking at that 5-day money flow coming up. Not too shabby. Because, again, red dot on market cipher B with money flow coming into the green like it is right here. This would tell you that the red dot is more likely going to be an ebb or flow to the downside for a higher low and a higher high. Not the continuation of a massive downtrend. Right? So, yeah, we're within our volume profile, which is generally bullish anyway. Let's see. Shout out to Wayne C. said, would everybody please leave so I can catch up on, so I could get up on the leaderboard? Shout out to Wayne C. If everybody could hold their keyboards so Wayne C. can get up on the leaderboard. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to P-Dub said, hit it and quit it. Let's go. We got the Andromeda-bound alien scam water here, guys. Alien scam water. Shout out to Singh says, your channel is very awesome, bro, because you're telling very true and very logical levels. I wish your channel kept growing more. Thank you. Billions of subscribers. Shout out to Singh. We're going to get, I think, what are we at? I think we're at it's like, Tony, what are we at? Is it 215 million? Or is it billion? I haven't paid attention in a while. I think we're creeping up on Mr. Beast, I believe. Yeah, because we keep getting flagged on our YouTube. I think it's Mr. Beast coming after us. I think we're in the hundreds of millions of subscribers. So, yeah. You're the man, Frankie Big Lug. Shout out to Iron Mike in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to all the pigeons out there. If you know, you know. Shout out to Mike Tyson. Yeah, we'll take a look at XRP, no problemo. Oh, people are saying 76.6K. We were 76.6K the second day we started the channel. I'm pretty sure that's 76 million. Yeah, I think it is. Let's see. Shout out to Nick Dunn said, how you don't have 100,000 subscribers? I have no idea. Shout out to Nick Dunn. It's probably because I don't show scam coins and tell people they're going to get rich overnight. I could start to do that, actually. But yeah, I don't know. Smash that like button so we could get hundreds of millions of subscribers. But anyway, let's continue on here. Unfortunately, when you're I just think I could just put it's going up every day on the thumbnail. I'd probably get a few more subscribers, but I just can't do that, right? I'm here to actually help people, and yeah, it just is what it is. That's how I roll. That's just I don't care that much about. I mean, we want subscribers, obviously, but yeah, your sub should be above the Bitcoin price. Yeah, 100%. Those Subway subs, baby. Shout out to Samcam. Casper. All right, let's take a look at Casper real quick. Bada boom. All right, let's see. Yeah, front ran that 786 there on Casper, but yeah, we're getting the rejection. This was your doorway to higher prices. Doesn't mean that you're never going to get above it. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're never going to get above it, but excuse me, value area low. Why is there no? Why can I not see that line on the chart? That's super weird. There we go. Value area low sitting here at about 11 cents. Yeah, look to get above that PO. Really, the level to break here, I would actually change the doorway to higher prices here to the POC at the end of the day. Value area low is the value area low. The POC is really your doorway to higher prices, because when your POC is so close to the value area low, that's your doorway to higher prices. Flip that POC, which is sitting at 1183. Yeah, flip 1183. That's kind of your doorway to higher prices. You obviously you got to get above that 786, but really get above and hold that point of control at 1187, 1183. That opens the door to the value area high, and money flow coming out on the 12 hour. I actually don't love the look of that. 5-day red dot printing, 6-day red dot printing. So again, you do have to understand from the bottom in April, we did get a 150% pump. So it is to be expected to some degree to get some kind of a retracement to come in. So it would not be out of the ordinary to see a pullback of a little bit bigger percentage here. You have your weekly down here. Yeah, so I mean, pull this local fib from the higher low to the high. So locally, you would want to hold this golden pocket 786. You lose that 786. I'm looking down to about 8 cents. Come down lower here. Yeah, lose that 786, head on down to the golden pocket, value area high at about 0.08 cents. Lose that, look to come inside this range. But locally, your next key level, if you lose that golden pocket, is probably going to be the 786 at about 93 cents. And then over time, like, would this make me feel super bearish? Absolutely not. Even if we came on down here to retest the golden pocket before coming back up, that could still end up being bullish long term. But locally, if you want to continue this aggressive uptrend, you would hope to hold the 786, get above the value area low, and then push up into the high. So yeah, that is what I would look at on CASPA. I really don't like this money flow on a lot of the time frames. 8-hour money flow crossover into the red, 12-hour money flow crossover into the red, 16-hour money flow crossover into the red, and the daily money flow is flying to the upside. Market is kind of like low-key kind of chopped right now. Yeah, price action is kind of wonky, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on CASPA. Those are the key levels, and that's what we got on CASPA. Let's go, baby. Let's see. Bitcoin pumping. She's pushing. I should probably log into Blowfin on the computer here so I could show this. All right, up 220. Up 220 on the long on Blowfin. Let's go, baby. All right, let's see. Let's check out Link. We already checked out Link. We already ran through the list. All right, let's check out Doge. A lot of people asking for Doge. Or is it just Nikos? Shout out to Nikos. Let's take a look here. Yeah, Doge still sitting here with his key level of support. I would say. You guys see that? Look at my arm. Watch it. Did you see that? I'm twitching, guys. I'm twitching. I'm drinking too much coffee. Yo, shout out to the Bobby Factor says, went long on Farcoin. Somebody pull its finger. Let's go. Pull it. Anyway, here we are. Take the lows. Key level of support. Sitting right here. If we come down and take these lows, 20 cents to 18 cents. Anchored VWAP sitting at about right on that golden pocket at about 20 cents. So, this is your key level of support. If you come on down here, I'm fine. Holding the longer term uptrend. Something like that would not be terrible. I would prefer to hold the anchored VWAP, to be quite honest. Whoops. I could even extend that a little bit. Pretty big zone of support, to be honest. But this is what I'd be looking at. Really between about 20 and 18.5 cents. Key level of support. I'm fine kind of cooling off there. Even tapping the 786 would be okay with me. POC still sitting above. We basically tapped that. So again, it's never a clean journey from the value area low into the POC and then right up to the high. Sometimes you're going to get the cool off. And it is sometimes a messy and confusing journey, but eventually you do make it up there more often than not. Taking a look at Market Cipher B. Money flow trying to come up on the 2-day. It's going to take a long time to develop, to be quite honest. 4-hour money flow in the red. Yeah, I mean, listen, if we cool off, that's the key level of support I'll be looking at. Market Cipher is super chopped up on money flow here on the 4-hour. Local levels, biggest levels of resistance. That's the biggest level of support. If we do come up, weekly naked point of control, confluent with the point of control of the range at 26 to 27 cents. Get above that, you have these two weekly MPOCs between 32 and 35 cents. Value area high sitting at 38 cents. Just a volume profile. Those are the key levels. Other than that, I would say market cipher kind of 50-50 on this. Yeah. Money flow low-key coming out. High time frame red dot still looking to print. Yeah. I would potentially be careful of a cool-off, right? Maybe you come up locally, but if you do cool off, those are the biggest key levels of support. This thing's been going sideways forever now. This is now, what is it, a week? Longer than a week? Come on. 18 days, 2 weeks of just sideways price action. Absolutely brutal. Is it a bull pennant? Oh, my God, it's a bull pennant. It's going to break out. Oh, my God. I'm just kidding. Maybe. But yeah, next target to the upside will be sitting at about 27 cents. To the downside, golden pocket 786 between 20 and 18 cents. There we go. Look at the monthly on Doge. Yeah, overall, I would say bullish, right? Long term, I would say bullish, right? Why? Because we're inside the macro volume profile. We flipped that value area low to support in the most beautiful, beautiful fashion. Flipped it right into the POC. At the end of the day, you're expecting, right? Even here, you get into the value area high, down to the POC, and then you went all the way back to the value area low. In this situation, what that looks like is this, and then filling the range. Right? Because we came from the high to the POC, back to the high, and then to the POC, then to the low. That, in this scenario, would look like value area low. It would look like that, right? And then that. So understand this can be the case. And these are the biggest key levels, to be quite honest, right? If we pull this to the low, you can see, come on. You have the 786 golden pocket right around your value area low. We'll cross that bridge if and when we get there. But these are the first levels of support. Lose that 786, you're looking down towards the value area low, which would not make me longer term bearish, right? It's not until we lose that level that I would be interested in much lower prices. But until then, inside your volume profile, pretty bullish. Taking a look at the monthly. Shout out to Jesse. I think Jesse said that. Yeah, I mean, we slipped it. We closed inside of it. Yeah, I mean, I would say this is bullish. VWAP coming up on the monthly as well. So this could definitely be more upside on the way. Especially if we get that green dot. 2-day, and then the green dot on the monthly with the 2-day money flow crossover into the green. If that happens at the same time like we're seeing on Bitcoin, you got the money flow crossing over into the green on the 2-day here. You also have your monthly green dot, which is printing, about to confirm soon. That's good for more upside, to be quite honest. Could it get stepped on? Absolutely. It's not impossible to get the dump, but I would say over the longer term, even if you get a bigger retracement, still feeling bullish long term. If we're being totally honest. XRP, yeah, we can take a look at XRP. XRP's been kind of it's kind of just, I don't think it moved. I haven't looked at it today. But yeah, XRP just still sitting there. You went for that 786 daily MPOC. I would prefer that tapped, to be quite honest. 12-hour money flow back in the red here. That's not the most bullish sign ever. 16-hour money flow crossover into the red. So, yeah. I mean, and the one thing about XRP is, I wouldn't be surprised. It would be nice. This is generally a zone, right? Golden pocket 786. If you're looking to put in a higher low and a higher high, you're hoping that the higher low comes in between the golden pocket and the 786. Right? But because we have lost this POC after getting rejected from the high, the anticipation here really would be to fill that range to the low. But it's not until we lose that 786 daily naked point of control here that I would be looking for that. You could still totally bounce within this range and then put a higher low and continue to the upside. But other than that, I really do not like that 12-hour money flow crossover into the red, 12-hour money flow crossover into the red. 8-hour money flow coming out, 4-hour money flow in the red. I mean, yeah. I would be paying much more attention to the volume profiles than any of the indicators right now. Just because they're very chopped up, just because of the choppy price action. Yeah. if you want the higher low, this is the place to do it. If you don't get the bounce out from here, I think it's higher probability that you fill the low, fill to the value area low. So yeah, really not much to update there on XRP either. Everything's just been kind of dragging sideways. You can look at that as somewhat of like a, yeah. I mean, this is the zone. I'm actually going to get rid of this blue box and just extend this down. Because this whole zone is kind of, you don't know if you're going to actually physically tap the daily MPOC. But between the golden pocket and the 786 is where you would hope for the higher low before breaking structure to the upside. It's just difficult because you're approaching from the high of the range. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at on XRP. Really not much more to update there. Just still almost tapped the key level of support, but just barely front ran it, unfortunately. Let's see. I had to take a break from trading for a little bit. I got liquidated. Shout out to Satoshi Glakamoto. Sorry to hear that, bro. I'm so sorry to hear that. H-bar. Yeah, we can check it on H-bar. Habar. H-bar. That's not what we wanted to look at. H-banar. No. Here it is. Oh, it's not it. I got to save this. Actually, have I saved this? I think I did save this. No, I guess not. Pengu we saved. Pango's just kind of... let's see. Where is our H-bar chart? What chart have we looked at? I'm saving this. Hang on one sec. It's not the MEXC chart. There it is. Okay. This isn't even the one I was looking for, but it's close enough. So, yeah, as you guys know, we've been looking at this level on H-bar for quite some time. Golden pocket, anchored VWAP. This is where you're hoping to get the bounce, right? Because you came into your value area low or your previous value area. You tried to hold the low. You lost it. Bearish retest, bearish retest. You have the golden pocket here. Potential possibility to hold the higher lows and just continue up. But you got to reclaim the value area low. And I'll be honest with you, there's not a ton of like super nice confirmation down here, right? It's always a level to level thing. Yeah, money flow coming into the red on the 10-hour. Money flow crossover into the red on the 12-hour, 16-hour. I mean, this is not really what I would like to see for a massive move to the upside. Could we just yeet on out of here? Sure. Not really what I love to see. I don't like this money flow. Daily looks is a little bit better, I guess. But really what you would want to see here, like even if like maybe the 4-hour was looking good, that would be better. Not really. 2-hour. Like, do we have any significant... I mean, you do have 2-hour bull divs here. Hmm. $90-minute, if that money flow could continue up, wouldn't look bad. I mean, you're at support. I think you could bounce here, but it's not the best confirmations in my opinion. Yeah, like you don't even have 30-minute bull divs, really. I guess you do, like, yeah, like, I guess from, like, kind of. You don't have any, like, local, like, you want momentum generally trending to the upside with the bull divs as well, right? But you want momentum coming up. Momentum's not really doing that. Momentum's just kind of flat here. So, yeah, I think you bounce because you came into support. But I just don't know how much that will, yeah. I don't really love the confirmation there. You don't even have local 15-minute bull divs here, which is super weird. Doesn't mean you can't bounce. I would say if you reclaim value area low from this level, that would look better, right? Because like there's just really not a clear entry confirmation here. But if you can reclaim value area low, I don't know. I would honestly prefer to see bull divs down here on significant time frames of money flow coming up. You don't have that. It doesn't mean you're definitely not going to come up. This has been a key level we've been watching for quite some time. These anchored VWAPs are absolutely insane. Anytime you come down to these, very, very likely you get these bounces, right? Even this was a nice little 6% move to the upside. Even already, 2.4% move to the upside, right? Like, and the golden pocket as well, right? So, yeah, this has been a key level we've been looking for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if you bounce. I just don't love the confirmations down here. Doesn't guarantee that you can't move up, but it's not like I wouldn't say that this low looks amazing or anything like that. 15-minute money flow crossing over into the green. 4-hour looking for the green dot potentially, so maybe that helps you up locally. And hopefully it pushes you above the value area low. But in this situation, I would prefer to see a flip of that value area low to really understand that we may be able to continue up. I just don't love the confirmations down there. Unless you, I guess you have the 4-hour bull div technically to the bodies of your candles. I mean, I guess that means we have to 100x long it, right? Should we 100x long it? Should we just YOLO it? Should we just gamble on stream here? I'm just kidding, guys. Don't gamble. Anyway, I'm just kidding, guys. Do not gamble. Let's see. Shout out to Mark Dutch said, I dumped my ex. Best investment ever. Shout out to Mark Dutch. I love that, bro. I love that. All right, so all right, let's go ahead. I'm going to do one more check-in here on Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, she's pushing, baby. She's pushing. Come on, Betty. Come on, Betty. Push it. Push it. Maybe I'll, before the fake out, I'll try to log back into Blowfin so I can show the long position. But yeah, as far as Bitcoin goes, if you guys just tuned in, scrub back to the beginning of the stream. We are getting that bounce from the value area low, which is very nice to see. Funny enough, I actually looked for the long position down here and didn't really love it. And why did I not love it? Well, simply put, only thing we really had down here was a 5-minute bullish divergence. I took a shot just because, you know, in the aggressive moves up that we've seen lately, waiting for those confirmations is low-key caused me to miss a couple of positions. So I took the position there, but I didn't love this entry, right? Because we didn't have 15-minute bullish divergences. We only had low time frame divs, lower lows, higher lows. We had some money flow coming up, some higher time frame, medium time frame green dots. But what happened here? We got one more push down, and then we got back in to push up. And hilariously enough, what did we push down for? 15-minute bull dip, right? So I had to go for a little bit of a ride here. But it's funny enough, it's like I could have just waited to get in at the 15-minute bull div. Either way, we're in the position, not too shabby, getting the push up, maybe looking towards that POC. And then if we lose this value area low, obviously I'm going to be looking down towards that $105,000 zone. So if you missed the BTCTA, just scrub back to the beginning of the stream and check it out. I give you guys all my thoughts, where I'm looking at for the next big supports if we lose the value area low, and also the key resistance on the way up as we push to the upside. We talk about the importance of the previous all-time high and the 786 we have sitting at 110,885. $110,885. That is your key level to new all-time highs. Until then, I am going to short, as we did here, riding this whole move down, and long within the volume profile until either we get the drop to the downside or we get the rip to the upside. If we get the rip to the upside, I will stop out of the short and profit. The long will play. If we get dumped to the downside, I will stop out of the long and profit. Well, technically not right now because I don't have my stop loss and profit just yet. But at that point, if we do get the bigger drop down, I will very likely get stopped out of the long in profit, and the short will continue to pay us out. In that cushy position, long and short at the same time. And very nice to see the value area play out exactly as we were hoping for yesterday, getting from the value area low to the POC, or value area high to the POC, back to the low. Again, I don't know if we're going to get that full fill here. But again, scrub back to the beginning of the stream. If you guys missed all the Bitcoin sauce, we cover everything for you guys. So shout out to the CandleMafia, guys. I think that is all the time I got for today's live stream. Shout out to Golden Child. Said, yeah, I stopped out at break even and then re-entered on the final dip. Shout out to Golden Child. No problemo, baby. That's what we like to see. 4-hour bullish div. Potentially. No div here on the 4-hour. You do not have a lower low. Maybe a little bit. A little bit. It's tiny. It's tiny. You don't have it to your divs. You have it to the bodies, which is what I like to see. It's not the strongest div. Not only is it not a huge lower low, it's also the momentum waves are not making really a strong higher low, right? These are actually, as a matter of fact, yeah, this is not even a lower low. I mean, this is not even a higher low. It's a lower low. If we yeet it up from here, that momentum wave could tick up a little bit. So really depends on how that candle closes. So yeah, not as of right now, there is no div. But that could change if you get that 4-hour green dot. And hopefully that 15-minute money flow can cross over into the green. That's what I'll look at for the continuation up. And if not, we'll dump. And that short will continue to pay us out here over on FEMEX. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Does everybody love Elon? Shout out to Wayne C. I don't really have a this is my opinion on Elon. He is either the crazy billionaire that is going to save the world, or he is like the diabolical, evil billionaire villain. I don't know which one he is. I just feel like if there is a character like that, he's going to be one of them. And unfortunately, we probably won't know until it's a good surprise or it's too late. I don't really know. But with all that being said, that's all the time I got for today's live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you found this content helpful and you appreciate all the key levels, you appreciate the TA, you appreciate the free trading education, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on notification bell so you don't miss any of our market updates or live streams or saucy tutorials. Keep an eye out for that anchored VWAP video, guys. That's all the time I got for today's live stream. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
I don't know what these are. I don't think it's magnesium, but I'm going to pop a couple. I don't even know. This doesn't even say what it is. It just has a brand name on it. 250 milligrams, natural antioxidant, improve immune health, boost energy production. Maybe I shouldn't take that if I'm going to go to sleep. Never mind. Anyway, hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love each and every single one of you guys. Smash that like button. See you tomorrow. That's all I got. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide.
Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the